bartending is a career. It's not just a stepping stone while you're waiting to get a real job.
Is it about the story, the emotion? What comes out more?
It's both.
Can a cocktail tell a story the way music and a painting can?
I think it can.
Why does taste trigger a memory so powerfully?
You won't taste something for years, and you taste like a sweet or something that's reminiscent of something you had when you were a kid, and all of a sudden you can remember.
And do you think culture plays a difference?
Yeah, you can learn so much about culture and people from food.
So whatever you're doing, you got it right. Are there other guys in South Africa that are professional bartenders?
Oh, yeah. So many.
Tell us a little bit, how did your running career start? Where you at?
So it started, I was trying to impress a girl.
What legacy do you want to leave in the bartending world, cocktail world?
You know, opening a bar has been a big thing for me, and already that has accomplished so much.
If your life had a flavor, which one would that be?
Vanilla.
What does freedom taste like to you
Sure.
on that note?
Brandy and Coke.
This episode is powered by Gym Store, your one-stop shop for commercial grade and home gym equipment.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to South Africa's #1 health and wellness podcast. Today, firstly, we're in a new set, and I'm so excited for it. You'll notice it's a nice darker set that Jester Studios have set up for us, and we'll be in here going forward. So that's awesome and exciting. I know we #1 health and wellness podcast, but health and wellness is about balance as well. And our guest today has one of the most creative minds when it comes to craft and flavor. He's a guy who's redefined bartending. He builds flavor the way musicians build music. He's Julian Short, the Flavourist.
I was like, health and wellness. Am I in the right place? No, I'm joking.
No, so when I thought about you coming up here, and I thought, yeah, it might be alcohol, but
yeah,
you know, responsible drinking is a thing.
No, but you nailed it. You said balance, and that's exactly what it is.
And that's it.
Yeah.
And now and then when you go on holiday to have a nice margarita or cocktail, you know, is balance. You know, as long as you can do it responsibly.
That's it.
Yeah. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for coming through. It's raining in Johannesburg today. It's just started coming down. So you've built your world around flavor. Where did it all start, Julian?
Oh, I needed money. But I mean, like, I was born into like a hospitality family, you know? Grew up at a game lodge in Mpumalanga. My parents were running this game lodge, and I kind of got into hospitality that way, you know? My parents are the type of people who just welcome people in with both arms wide open. And like, my mom's the kind of person who's like, oh, nothing's prepared. And then she'll feed, you know, like 17, 20 people, you know? And I kind of grew up in that environment, and food was always at the forefront. You know, my dad was always big into wine, so he was kind of pushing that agenda. But it was more of a flavor thing. And like I said, I never really wanted to do hospitality. I was a musician. I did a bunch of other stuff. And then I started doing it, and I was like, actually, I kind of love this. And so I just kind of dove into that world head first.
Okay, how old were you in that?
I think when I started bartending properly, when I say I was like a bartender, I was probably about 22. I'm 33 now, so it's probably about 11 years ago. Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about all your accolades, please.
Sure.
Because I saw there's quite a few.
Sure.
And for me to go list them, I want to do, and I thought, no, I'll hear it from you.
It's sort of funny because it's like, it's just stuff that I've done, and it's just so cool. Yeah, I've won a bunch of cocktail competitions over the years, you know. 2017, I won the Global Remy Martin Bartenders Talent Academy in Cognac. Got the gold for that. I've done World Class, which is like the big one. World Class is like the master chef of bartending. I've done that twice, but the best part about that was the last time I did it. It was in Sao Paulo 2 years ago, and I got to the top 12 in the world, which is massive. Like, I got there, like, it was cool. The guy who won, Jacob, is an incredible bartender, and I was standing right next to him when I went this way and he went that way, and his technique was better. And I was like, you know what? Could have won it, but the guy actually, he won it, man. You know, and that was big. And I came back after, and I was like, cool, I've done it, you know. The
moment you knew bartending wasn't just a job, it's going to be your life. Well, tell us a bit about that.
So that's actually a great story. So I started bartending in bars. Do you know what I mean? I was working at a gastro pub, actually a really nice one. And then I started working in a really good cocktail bar in Bryanston. And when I say good cocktail bar, it was a bar that took bartending and the art of mixology seriously. And that was like school. Now we're in it, And long story short, my boss was supposed to enter a cocktail competition, and cocktail competitions were like this big thing, and only the good guys were doing it. And he was like, you just got to go. And he kind of trapped me. He was like, cool, this cocktail competition's happening. I'm pulling out. You're going to take my place. I've already signed you up. And I was like, oh man, I don't know if I can do this, And so I went and did this thing, and he kind of coached me on it. He was like, this is what I think you should be doing. What's your idea? He kind of pushed me on it. Anyways, I got there. I did this thing. I ended up winning the competition in Johannesburg. I got sent to Cape Town. It was my first time as a bartender in any professional capacity, traveling in any professional capacity. Got to Cape Town and won the whole thing in Cape Town. And I'm talking against, it was crazy. It's still fun. It's a great story. I won this thing, and the prize was that I got to go to Mexico to represent South Africa on a global stage. I'd never traveled on a big plane before. Like, even going to Cape Town, I was like, wow, this is cool, And they were like, cool, here's your ticket. And anyways, I was in Mexico. I competed against some of the coolest bartenders in the world. I didn't win, but I mean, that was the moment where I looked around at these cool people, covered in tattoos, interesting, dressed beautifully, talking this language that I understood. And I was like, I phoned my mom and I was like, I'm going to make drinks. And she was like, I've been waiting for this call. I could see it in your eyes. So that's how I got into it, yeah.
And why bartending and not cooking coffee or wine?
That's interesting. Bartending is more for the rock stars, I guess. But no, I think it was just, bartending was a way that I could be creative, and it was a language that I could understand. And the industry itself is so beautiful. The people in this industry are fascinating, and there's so many avenues to bartending. There's not one avenue. And I'm sure it's like this with any industry, but it was the place that I felt I could found my home, in it. And I was like, cool, I can do this. I got this. Let's go.
So we've actually met before.
Yeah.
I know you meet a lot of people. You won't remember. We were at the Dutch. I think it's the Duchess.
Yes.
Yes. And the guy that does the gins, the ginologist was also there.
Yes. I totally remember.
Yeah. We
totally remember. Yeah, totally remember.
And I remember asking you, make me a cocktail, anything with tequila. Just you make me something. And it was amazing. I wish I could remember what was in it, but I don't. But it was amazing.
That was like, what, 2-3 years ago?
No, actually longer.
Yeah, longer. Yeah.
Maybe about 5 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Wow.
And I remember having my first sip, and it was amazing. It was,
That's awesome.
What's the feeling you chase when you build a cocktail?
That's great.
Like when I asked you, make me anything with tequila.
Yeah. I mean, like, even yesterday, I was designing a drink yesterday. It's kind of interesting. It's like you likened it to music earlier, and it is kind of like that. It's like getting a lyric in your head, and you need to write this down. It's like getting a riff, and you start to write it out, and you're like, oh man, I can see this song coming, and it's just like this moment that you need to capture, and that's in a large way what it is for me. It's like trying to tell this story. And again, even if someone says you're at a function, someone says, can you make me a drink with tequila? It's like, well, okay, cool. Let's tell the story. Let's make this enjoyable. Let's create a moment, and that's what it's about. That's what it's about for me. Yeah.
So, is it about the story, the emotion? What comes out more?
That's it. It's both.
It's
both. It's telling a story to create an emotion,
and then that will bring out the flavor.
At the end of the day, it's like, if you think about it, your favorite bar in the world favorite restaurant isn't like the fanciest one. It's just the one that you like. It's the one that you walk in and you feel good, and you're like, everyone waves at you, someone comes and says hi, greets you by your name, you sit down and you're like, I'll have the regular. It's not the super overboard fancy. It's about that emotion,
Yeah. So flavors work together.
Yeah.
But I'm sure you have found flavors that shouldn't work together. Tell us about that. Flavors that shouldn't work together but actually do.
So again, let's go with the music analogy. It's like, it's not necessarily about the notes. It's about how you string them together. And flavor is the same way. Like, what I've learned on this journey is and what wine has actually taught me a lot is the flavors are in there. You taste wine, you smell wine, and you're like, what? Like, I'm smelling lemongrass and asparagus, and is that black currant? Like, is there a little bit of lime leaf in there? Like, maybe I'm getting a little bit of minerality, all these crazy things. And then you're like, so they do work together. There's no boundary on what can and what can't work together. It's all about how you interpret it, how you digest it, and then how you spit it back out, how you can string it together. And that's what I've learned. Like, tomato and passion fruit, great flavor combo. Absolutely incredible.
Tomato and passion fruit.
Tomato and passion fruit, like you get that sweet, you get that savoriness, and then you get that like that sweetness from like a granadilla. And if you string it together, it's actually remarkable. And one of the first times that like I remember the moment, it was like literally 2017. A bartender walked in and he was like, "I want you to make me something tomorrow." He's like, "I'm coming back tomorrow. I want you to make me something with tomato and watermelon." And I was like, "What? How? What? How tomato and watermelon?" I couldn't fathom it. And then when I started doing the R&D, when I started playing around with it, I was like, "Man, this makes so much." And that was like a big cornerstone. That was a big moment for me because after that, I was like, "Actually, it's there. You just need to figure it out." You know?
Do you make things on the fly?
All the time.
All the time. So
I mean,
you don't go practice it. Like you don't sit at home and practice it and then taste it and go, "This works, this doesn't." Because what works for me might not work for you.
100%. I think I do a lot of stuff on the fly in a bar setting. Although, like, you know, modern bar setting is changing in the sense of like, when I first started bartending in Syntax, I would have all my ingredients with me. I'd have tequila, gin, the spirits, and then I'd have all the different syrups that I made and cordials and infusions or whatever. So if someone asked me for a drink, I would be very personal. I'd be like, "What do you feel like? I can make it on the fly. I'm ready to go because I've done my prep. I'm here. I've got all the things. Let's make it for you." But the problem with that is you can never recreate it unless you're in that exact same setting with those exact same bottles. So it's a very in the moment thing. So there is a large part of that. But more recently, do stuff on the fly, but also take a lot of time to consider stuff. So do stuff on the fly for sure. But also it's important to just plan ahead and go like if you said to me, "I'm coming in a week. These are things I like." I would spend a week making that drink for you. I would do this and this and this, and it couldn't just happen in the moment. A lot of the stuff, the techniques that I'm using now take at least 24 hours, even 48 hours. So just to make the actual ingredient. Yeah.
Is balance overrated? Or is imbalance where the magic happens?
Balance is where it's at. I mean, balance in drinks, balance in life, you know, like beforehand when I opened Syntax, I was running the whole place with a really cool team, but I bought the bar in 2020. And since then I've become working on the business, not as much in the business. Beforehand I was like, I'm the bartender. This is my entire identity. And it's changed a lot. And now, you know, I've been trying to balance my life out, like getting enough sleep, being at the shop, or having a personal life. Imagine, you know, like I'm a big runner, going for runs, you know, making sure that you're making that time. And that's, to me, that's what balance means now. Back, it just used to be like, is this daiquiri perfectly balanced? And yes, there's so many elements of that. I still think about it all the time, but like, also like, are you balanced? You know? Yeah.
Can a cocktail tell a story the way music and a painting can?
I think it can. It really, really can. Again, it's in the moment. You know, you go to a show, you watch a show, and you walk away going, "Man, that was amazing." You don't remember necessarily every single song and in what order. It's just that, like, wow, that was an incredible. And I think that's what it's about. It's about connecting with an experience. And for me, that first cocktail competition that I won, the drink that I made and the way that I presented it, I was like, this is pure magic. And it was very coincidental. It was, obviously I'd planned it, but, you know, I wanted to tell them a story. And I still remember the story. The story was the first time I ever had tequila, which was at a beach, the Grand. It's called the Grand in Cape Town, next to the waterfront. I know the Grand. Yeah. And they got these cool round stones in the
tequila
in the water.
Must have cost you like
it cost an arm and a leg,
1,000 rand,
1,000 rand per shot. You know, like for an ice, another $50. Okay, easy. Yeah,
they're not even the Kales for free.
yeah, not even the Gales for free. And I remember putting my feet in the sand and watching the sunset. And it was the first time I ever drank tequila on the rocks. And I was like, it was really good tequila. And I was like, wow. And like, it was kind of one of those moments. I had my feet in the sand, like the sun was setting, and there's like that salt spray from the sea. And I was like, I want to tell this story. And I made a drink where I put sand on in front of the judges, like in front of people, put sand on the table, and I would literally decorate it with those same stones that I found on the beach. And I sprayed sea salt into the air, and I put sunscreen on their arms so that they were there. They could smell it. When you put sunscreen, when the sunscreen comes out, you're at the beach.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Always reminiscent of like whatever beach memories you got, you know. But sunscreen always means sun, you know. And it's like, and then you tell the story. And at the end of it, I'm like, man, that never actually happened. I've been to the Grand once and I didn't sit in the seat. You know what I mean? It's just about capturing or having that idea and then taking them there, even if it didn't happen.
Why does taste trigger a memory so powerfully?
It's crazy, and it's something to work on that I've realized and worked on so much. It's like you think about you won't taste something for years, and you taste like a sweet or something that's reminiscent of something you had when you were a kid, and all of a sudden you can remember, like it's like strawberry milk, for example, or the milk that you have in your cereal. You don't have that so much as an adult, but when you have it or you taste it, it brings you straight back to being on the couch, like on a Saturday morning watching TV, So it's incredibly powerful how much your brain actually retains. And if you can hit those kind of, like an orchestra, you can kind of tie those kind of moments into your performance, man, you're killing it. People will remember it forever.
And do you think culture plays a difference?
Yeah, big time.
Taste?
Huge. I think that's huge part of my learning journey has been diving into culture, and you can learn so much about culture and people from food and from like rituals and like, eating rituals and drinking rituals. And like, it's been a fascination of mine, and I keep trying to learn as much as I can about it, because it'll just broaden your mind. And when you start working with different flavors, you all of a sudden start to think about its different oranges, where it comes from and how different people use it from around the world. And you can then tell different stories just by using one ingredient.
So they say perfection kills creativity. Do you agree with that saying?
I think perfection is fleeting. Nothing perfect can be a moment, but I don't think you got to strive to be at the top of your game. You got to strive to be good and to always be on, to do your best. But once you understand that nothing's perfect, it really releases you a lot. And you're like, cool, now I'm not chasing perfection. I'm just chasing the best that I can do right now with drinks, with life, whatever.
So that's when you would stop refining it.
Yeah.
Because nothing is going to be perfect.
It's like getting tattoos. I always say to people, like, there's no such thing as the perfect tattoo. There's no such thing as like the perfect anything. Once you get rid of that and you embrace that it's just real, then you change. You're like, actually, let's just be real together. Let's just take that stress and put it back. Yeah.
What does freedom taste like to you on that note?
Brandy and Coke.
We're going to have a lot of listeners disappointed in that answer. Freedom is brandy and Coke.
Sure. No, man, it makes me laugh.
Coke Zero or Coke with sugar?
Coke Zero for me. Coke Zero for me. Fancy, and living in the Rosebank, bro. I don't know. For me, again, it's sea salt, but because that's obviously I live in Joburg. But man, like, brandy and Coke, when you travel and you haven't come home and you've been doing other stuff, and you taste that, no matter where you are in the world, brandy and Coke tastes like home immediately. Like for me, just in the bar world,
So I found your job very interesting, but there are other things that made me ask you to come onto this podcast. You said you got into running, and I saw that on your Instagram profile, on the gram, and it obviously triggered some thoughts to me. You being around alcohol all the time.
24/7.
Mental health has got to be important. How do you protect your mental health?
It's a great question. I think, I've been doing this for a long time now. I've owned I've owned Syntax now for 5 years, and I'm there all the time, a lot. When I'm not traveling, and even when you're traveling, it's like you're on the road, surrounded by all these things. It's like anything, and I'm being very honest here. You gotta kind of fuck it up a little bit. I'm allowed to swear.
Of course. No.
You got to kind of fuck it up a little bit. You got to kind of like get to a point where you're like, oh man, there's got to be more than this. This ain't it, And I've got there a couple of times. And I think the one thing I've always tried to do is retain as much humility as possible. And that kind of keeps you straight. And I've realized that I need to work harder you can jaw all the time. And the jaw will always be there.
It's never going to go away.
The jaw will always be there. But to look after yourself and to put yourself first and prioritize, actually, I'm not drinking today. Or I'll have, just one drink, thanks. Or I'll just have a little bit. Because for example, like you're going to run in the morning. When I travel, it was a big one now. I went on a 6-week tour around the world. Wow. And I was like, cool, I'm going to run every day. I didn't run every day, but that was the goal. And I ran nearly every single day. And to me, I was like, this is showing up. That's why I was posting on Instagram. I was like, I'm going to do it for myself, but also like to show people out there, bartenders, that like, yes, you party. The jaw will always be there. What is important is that you hold yourself accountable, and then you have the discipline to do these kinds of things. And that's been a big one for me. It was also taking that time out. And again, I'm absolutely not perfect at all of this. I keep on trying to find ways to find the balance within all of this, but at least it's at the front of the mind.
Yeah, and obviously being a business owner too. I mean, and surrounded with alcohol, you got to figure out when to take control.
Exactly, because you walk into a bar, you sit down, you walk into your own bar, you could just point at any bottle and say, "Cool, give me a double, keep them coming all night." And again, there are nights where that happens, and you got to go, "Cool. There's more to this. There's more to this. You got to. There's a whole world outside of this place, and also you got to lead by example. You have people looking up to you, people who are super impressionable, and you got to make sure that you are at least following your own rules." And it's been a lot. It's been a big journey for me.
So I get pressured often to drink when I don't want to drink. The rubber arm is very rubbery. But I can imagine for bartenders, do you like the pressure to drink socially all the time?
All the time.
I mean, a beautiful woman wants to buy you a tequila. Like
That's the thing. You kind of got to, like you said, you're like not the life of the party, but you're the bartender. You come out and everyone's like, oh, drinking becomes like this huge focus for you. And that's why like the big thing for me was learning how to do that better, how to do it in a better way. Like, for example, now my go-to when I'm at work is sparkling water with fresh lemon and like a dash of bitters, because the bitters makes it look like it's a cocktail.
Like it's something.
Yeah. And then I just walk around with that. People say, "Oh, you get a drink." I'm like, I'll get one. I just say, hit me with I call it like my lemonade. Hit me with my lemonade, and then I just drink. It's like literally fresh lemon and soda water. It's really like I actually kind of love it. It's like no sugar. It's super acidic, but like absolutely delicious. And like that has helped me recently just get through a lot of awkward situations.
Give us that again.
So
Sparkling water.
Sparkling water, fresh lemon juice, and like a couple dashes of bitters on top. Easy. Looks kind of like you're drinking something. People taste it. They're like, "Oh, that's so interesting," and you're like, "Yep, that's it." And if you do want to, if someone does buy your shot, I just stick it in there.
Yeah.
Just dilute the whole thing.
Helps the hangover.
Helps the hangover a lot. Yeah.
Have you ever had to step away from alcohol for a period of months, like almost like a detox, just 100%. to get yourself back?
Yeah, I think in the industry, even the people surrounding myself, and I think surrounding yourself with the right people are also is very important to all of this. But all the guys that I work with, once a year, they take a month off. Like, cool, this is the month. And like, what's cool about it is that nobody puts any pressure on, not from the friend circle. When you're at a bar, inevitably people, again, they think, "Oh, you're the owner, let me," and you're like, I learning to turn down shots is also, it's very empowering. People say, and then you can also weed people out,
Yeah.
Because, again, you got to understand people, when they come out, they're on the jewel, there for the night out. And to be able to say, actually, I'm not drinking, it's hard maybe the first couple of times. And then after that, you're like, you can kind of stand by it. You're like, actually, why don't you buy my bartender a shot or something? Like, I'll be here in Chias. I'll still cheers,
Yeah. I had Dale, the drummer from Prime Circle, on the podcast, recovering alcoholic.
Yeah.
And he was telling me, like, at the end of the night, he's got like 20 shots lined up next to him. And he said, "No, guys, I'm good. But they still go and they buy the shot." And he said, like, the strength that he had to have just to get through that.
I can only imagine that guy's a rock star.
Yeah. No, well.
I used to work for Prime Circle back in the day. Like 15 years ago.
Okay.
Like those guys, it's not like they party hard, but like you're a rock star. I remember going on a tour with them to like Umhlanga,
It's expected.
They walk out the door. Everyone's like, "Oh, it's Prime Circle." Like they go to a place, they can't have dinner, because everyone's like, "Oh," the owner comes and he brings his friends and everyone's like, "Come," and then it's like free dope. Yeah, it's you're the life of the party.
As someone that's been in the industry for quite a while, how do you teach younger bartenders to have that balance, to handle that balance?
I think again, it's a large part of it is leading by example. But it's a really great question. I've got a lot of younger bartenders, especially now that I'm getting into like I'm not 20 anymore. I'm not in my 20s. I'm in my 30s now, still doing this, and getting young people in. And it's really about like, you can teach anyone to make a drink, you can teach anyone the specs. Oh, this is the recipe, make it. They'll make it. It's really about kind of creating an environment where people, like, it's a work environment. This is the job. This is what you got to do. Yes, we can have fun, but we have fun right at the end, and never have more fun than the people at your bar. People never have more fun than the people on the other side of the counter. If you're going to have fun, bring them into it, So it's about teaching people that there's more. This is a career. And we're still doing it, and we're aiming high.
The hardest night you've ever had behind the bar?
Sure. It's probably when we opened. Hey, the day I opened, we opened Syntax because poaching in any industry is a big thing. You know, when you open a place, you don't want to poach people. You know what I mean?
It's a small industry.
It's a small industry, and reputation is a lot of it. You know, in all of it. You know, and I couldn't find the right people, and so I kind of opened the bar. I was like, I'm sure it won't be so busy. We opened. It was like a tsunami. Like just people like piled in, and this is before we had any rules about no standing, whatever. I remember phoning as I kind of like was trying to take orders, and I was like on the phone to one of my best friends at the time, and I was like, he lives in Barcelona, and I was like, yo, what are you up to? You know? He was like, just smoking weed, chilling at home, and I was like, you want to come? I'm opening a bar right now. And he's like, when? I'm like 10 minutes ago. Like,
I need help.
I need some help. And he was like, no, dude, I can't.
Yeah.
And he was like, look, I'm just too stoned right now. And I was like, okay, cool. And then like about an hour later, I just like look up from this mess, all these slips and everything. And I just see people like being shoved out the way. And he's got his bar tools in his briefcase. And he's just like kicking people out. And he was like, I'm here, bro. And it was just like the two of us, the bar, a pipe burst. It was flooding. There was water up to our ankles. Like and one of my other friends, who is my now business partner, was also there, and he was right behind, like right next to me. So it was a hard night, but it was a good one. I've had some worse nights, but that's more just like learning hard lessons, you know.
Has there been a time you almost wanted to quit, but you didn't? What pulled you back?
Man, it's been a lot of times where you kind of, when I went to Mexico for the second time, and I was entering this huge cocktail competition, and I just missed the mark completely. I got the brief. The brief was kind of going this way, and I went this way. And, I did really badly. And I came back to South Africa, and I was at the lowest mentally I'd ever been, in the sense of like I had so much shame. I just had so much I was like, man, you really fucked that up, you know? And it took me a long time to kind of get over that ego shame, I guess. It was more just an ego thing, but I was like, man, like, you love this. You got this, bro. Like, this is what you've built your whole life towards. Keep going, you know? And I had to like dig real deep. And then it kind of got over myself, and I was like, let's fucking go.
What does burnout look like for a bartender?
Sure. We opened Syntax in 2016. COVID was the first time I took leave in 4 years. You know, just couldn't. Where was I going to go? What was I going to do? I traveled and I did stuff, but it was all for work. And again, like we said, when you travel, that's even more like, you know what it's like when you're traveling, you're drinking beers in the airport at like 7 a.m. If that's on the cards, you know, if that's what's happening. And a burnout was just like, I could see it in everything I was doing, you know, like I didn't realize how burnt out I was until we actually got that time off, until the shop shut. It's the first time. And what burnout looked like for me, I remember I was dating this girl at the time, and she was like, who are you? I was like, what do you mean? She's like, who are you without this bar, with this identity that you have for yourself? And I was like, I don't know.
You just took my next question.
Yeah, she was like, cool. Well, I'm not going to stick around to you to figure. I'm going to keep on living my life. Like, good luck, bro. Like, you'll figure it out. But like, I'm not going to be here to walk you through it. You know. So yeah, it was a wake up call for me. It was interesting.
On that note, who are you when you're not behind the bar with no shaker, no crowd? Who is Julian?
Yeah, it's an interesting one. Man, at the moment I've been trying to really carve that out. You know what I mean? Again, lockdown changed a lot, the perspective that I have on this world and everything. And at the moment I've been trying really hard to fill my life outside of the bar. And again, running has helped a lot. I picked up a camera. I'm doing a lot of content creation. I'm loving being a photographer. And I'm trying to figure out more ways to be useful for myself and to the people around me and within this industry outside of the bar. So yeah, it's still an ongoing one, but like I live and breathe this whole thing, you know? So I've been trying to focus on other things to kind of diversify my portfolio, so to say, you know, my personal portfolio, but yeah.
But I think it's okay to live and breathe one thing.
100%.
Yeah, if you've got hobbies in others, but I mean, you've perfected this one thing. Well, like we said, there's no such thing as perfection, but I mean, you've got it right.
Yeah.
Whatever you're doing, you've got it right.
Yeah.
And it's going the right way.
Yeah, 100%.
when my 16-year-old son asked me yesterday morning, who's next in your podcast? And I said, a professional bartender. And he was like, what? I'm like, yeah, boy, he's a professional bartender. He's won awards. And he's like, I didn't know you can be a professional bartender.
That's crazy. Crazy.
So whatever you're doing, you got it right. Are there other guys in South Africa that are professional bartenders?
Oh, yeah. So many. That's the thing.
And why is it so quiet? Why?
Most of them in Cape Town. That's
okay.
why. A lot of them are in Cape Town.
Is it a Cape Townian
and
thing?
It's also like in hospitality in South Africa especially, but also globally, but in hospitality. And also the good ones go to Dubai. All the good ones go to Dubai in every industry. But you get good as a bartender, then your manager or whoever's a senior goes, oh, let's make you a manager. You didn't sign up to be a manager, but the management comes with a fatter paycheck. So you take the fatter paycheck, you become a manager, and then you start bartending, you start managing, and then you kind of disappear either into the system or you get picked up, you start working for brands. So bartenders kind of go in a lot of different directions. I always said, even myself, I don't bartend nearly as much as I used to. Although I still design drinks, I still do a lot of I still focus very much on all of those kinds of things. But my role now, even like in my own company, is I have bartenders who are young and keen, and my goal is to keep building a platform for them to do what they want to do and to encourage other people to, again, bartending is a career. It's not just a stepping stone while you're waiting to get a real job, and I've been trying to cultivate that kind of culture and kind of not redefine it, but like define what that platform looks like within Joburg anyways, or within my own place. So
let's get on to the subject of running, because yeah, in your age, we love running.
Yeah.
I'm also a runner for my sins.
Yeah, for your sins, exactly.
Tell us a little bit, how did your running career start? Where you at?
So it started, I was trying to impress a girl,
Was she a runner?
She was a runner.
They're the worst. I'm joking.
Yeah.
I'm joking.
And like, I remember like I didn't even have running shoes. She called me out so quick because I was just running in Vans all the time. And she was like, you just live your life in those. And I was like, oh, well, I don't have any running shoes. So I bought like running shoes on like Take-A-Lot. And I was like, I didn't know anything about it, but I just kept doing it and kept doing it. And I just kind of started falling in love with it. Just this therapy of like getting outside of your environment, turning off sometimes with music, sometimes without. I listen to a lot of audiobooks as well. Audiobooks are like what I love. I listen to a lot of audiobooks. Anyways, so like get outside and you can just breathe, and it's just you and your body and you're in a different kind of space and you just feel alive. And when you're done, you're just ready for the day. I do it every day at the moment, nearly every day. I take my dog. I have a dog now. I take my dog for a run in the afternoon. I go to work. I get changed. I go for a run. I go home, I feed my dog, and I go back to work. And I just feel ready for it. I feel fresh. And running's been great. I did my first half marathon last year.
Okay, which one did you do?
The Soweto one.
Okay, it's coming up now.
Yes,
in 2 weekends' time. Yes.
It was so good. The Soweto Marathon. Wow, what a great! That was my first like name card. Like, let's go. Waking up
with the
like
number
4 a.m. Like, it was great. I've done a couple. Like, I did a 30K this year. I'm really hoping to make it more part of my identity and what I do. I run all the time, but to just push myself to do those bigger distances and everything,
Well, maybe Syntax should have a run.
Exactly. That would be great.
We can talk after this.
Yeah, we should do
a little nighttime 10K.
That's a great
in
idea.
the area there.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Okay, so you're not at the you haven't hit a marathon yet. Is that the next goal?
That's the next one.
Okay,
Marathon's the next
awesome.
one.
I mean, if you can do a 30K, you can do a 42.
Yeah, exactly.
I promise you.
Exactly. And if once you've done a marathon, bro, you can just
Then we're gonna take comrades off.
Yeah. I skateboarded the comrades.
Hey?
In 2009.
You should have started the podcast with this.
I skateboarded from Maritzburg Hospital.
Skateboard
From Maritzburg Hospital. Long story short, I was with a group of friends just talking shit as you do. And one of our friends was like, man, imagine skating the comrades, because we grew up in Natal, right? And he got like this thing called Guillain-Barré syndrome, is where it's like an autoimmune thing. He ended up not walking for like 3 months. He was in hospital, like deteriorating really fast. So in order to raise money, we were like, let's skate the comrades. So we got together and we did it. And we raised a lot of money. And it took us from like the inception and everything. We started raising money. We did a bunch of stuff with Pick and Pay and all these other cool brands. He got out of hospital, got home, and started coming to our practices, and he ended up skating it with us.
No
It's
way.
crazy. Yeah. So we skateboarded from Maritzburg. We went onto the route. We had municipal help. There was like ambulances and cops and everything like that. And they basically escorted us along the Comrades route
Wow.
all the way through. And then we ended up at the skate park on
In
Durban
Durban.
Beach. Yeah.
Did you go down Fields Hill?
Yeah, it was crazy.
How was it going down
We were
Fields
going
Hill?
so
You'll break
fast.
kill yourself.
We were going so fast that we had to use the ambulance in front of us to slow down. It's like we were like holding the back of the
I
car.
can imagine because I battle running down Fields Hill because it's so steep.
It's so steep. So we ended up like, depending on how everyone was comfortable, we were like sitting down or lying down or like standing or just holding the back of the car because it was so like.
I'm so glad you brought it. What year was this?
2009.
Have you got photos or anything?
I got photos somewhere on a DVD. Got photos somewhere. In it. Yeah.
That is awesome.
That was cool. I've got newspaper clippings and everything from it. Yeah.
Yes, yeah. That is
one time in 2009. It was great. It was actually a lot of fun. It was. I would do
How
it
do you
again.
get up a hill though?
Yo,
You just
You
push
just-
with your one
you
leg.
just keep going. That's it. It was a
Jeez,
lot.
like
It was a lot. It was a lot.
Like
But
in my head, it's harder than running because you got to try and control this board at the same time.
yeah, we were kids. We didn't really care. We were just
Yeah.
like, let's go for it. You know. That was a lot of fun. I would love to do something like that again. So Comrades has always been like.
It's
I
a
remember. I pretty
special
much remember
place.
that whole route. You know, obviously, I just remember like all the different parts, and like I grew up in Natal, so I'd love to go back and do something like that.
Let's talk a little bit about legacy.
Mm.
What legacy do you want to leave in the bartending world, cocktail world?
That's a great question. I mean, I don't think about that too much, but I mean, you know, opening a bar has been a big thing for me, and already that is accomplished so much. So much in the sense of like, and again, I'm being quite honest here, like it could close tomorrow, and I'd be like, cool, that was rad. That wasn't everything, you know. What every palace is temporary, you know. That was rad. Let's what's next? You know what I mean? And I've done a lot of travel globally this year, the last couple of years, but this year I think was the biggest year for me. I think I went to like 11 countries or something.
Wow.
And for me, it's spreading the word of, you know, I've seen the world, seen the whole world, but I've seen a lot of it from a bartending perspective. And it's like, people think we're so far behind in South Africa. I'm like, no, we're not. We're so close. We're right there. We're not even so close. We shouldn't even be competing with you, but we hold ourselves to like a different standard. But I'm like, we're on the same level, you know? And to bring that back to people in Joburg and South Africa and be like, man, we're right there. And let me show you how. Like what we're doing, they're doing. They're just doing it from a different angle, you know?
Okay.
And to also, while I'm traveling, to be like, cool, to be a representative of South Africa, if that makes sense. I'm like, on time, let's go for a run. Let's have a good time, but let's make sure we get home safely.
Time
Had a
and
lot of
place for everything.
Yeah, I've had a lot of stuff, you know, even overseas that has really changed me and changed the perspective and how I party and how I interact with the world. And I'm always learning about it. So the legacy that I'm trying to leave is just to kind of show people, bring more people to South Africa, see the South Africans aren't so bad, that we're actually quite on it. And just to kind of keep opening that door for people to come here and for South Africans to travel.
If your life had a flavor, which one would
Sure.
that be?
Vanilla. No, I'm joking.
Boring.
Boring. Oh man, well, let's just say salted pistachio. Let's go.
Salted pistachio.
Let's go. That's a good one. Yeah,
Is
yeah.
that not what this new Dubai chocolate is made out
I
of?
think so. Yeah, you
Salted
see, everyone's,
pistachio. Yeah,
everyone's
everyone
onto it
wants
now.
the Julian
Everyone wants
flavor.
it now. Everyone's like, let's go. This kid's onto something.
I want to end the podcast off with you finishing a line. And I wrote it somewhere here. Let me find it. Great cocktails aren't about alcohol. They're about.
Moments. Yeah. About
I love
moments.
that.
Yeah. Because again, you could just make something. Some of the best moments I've ever had is just enjoying that anything. Take something that you have on your drinks cabinet and just pour it into something else. You serve it to someone. I've done that and like fall in love doing that. You know, I've had many moments like that, and those are just, that's what it's about. It's about the moments that, again, travel the world, and what always pops into my head is the moments that I've shared with people.
And I think that's everything in life.
That's it.
It's
That's especially the thing about bartending, because it's not a tangible thing. You don't necessarily leave with it. It's an in the moment thing, and I think that's what I love about it.
I asked you a question. Who's Julian? Not behind the bar. I want to answer it.
Yeah.
But you're an inspiration, and that's why you're on this podcast today.
Sure.
Okay. Thank you for being that inspiration.
Thank you so much. For
When
having me.
we look at your story, when we look at your posts on Instagram, it brings smiles. You bring smiles to people, even without a cocktail. When we started off, we went our way. Like that alone, I was watching it today, brought smiles to me. Thank you for being that person. Don't stop being that person. No matter what happens, don't stop running. And I'm going to see you at the comrades start line. I'm not going to put you on the spot and say when. But yeah, it will be awesome to share the start line with you. Thank you for coming to the Endure Edge.
Away.